the falling sensation, and to read something to you that I wrote. Okay. Some sort of rug, oriental or welcome mat, it doesn't really matter, has been pulled out from under my feet, except that I haven't hit the floor yet. My emotions right now very much parallel that brief but prolonged feeling between the standing solidly on the ground stage and the landing on your ass stage. It's the falling sensation. That moment where everything slows down. And I'm grabbing for a chair or a bedpost or even someone's hand or shirt sleeve, but everything and everyone I could potentially hold on to is ultimately too far away, too distant. So I'm not actually falling. Some prankster didn't sneak up behind me while I was brushing my teeth and pull the white fuzzy bath mat out from under my feet. I'm not actually tumbling closer and closer to the cold tile floor, but preparing to enter a world unfamiliar, leaving family, friends, comfort, and certainty leaves you with that falling sensation. It's that out-of-control, nasty spill into the unknown. Between the time I tripped into my last year in high school and now on the brink of leaving, someone has set up a projector in my mind. This little tiny movie theater that's showing the reruns of my life, everything. Who I've been and what I've done. I like to call this movie nostalgia. It's all the shit, laughters, tears, and happiness, and all the things I constantly remind myself to forget. Here is the condensed version of this movie. One night, on August 14th, I was born. I had a happy childhood, nothing of the kind you see on each true Hollywood story. My parents were not drug abusers, they didn't leave me in the street or abandon me, they weren't and are not famous movie stars. Nothing dramatic, basically. They were, and to this day are, the most amazing parents anyone could ask for. And so, we move on to middle school. My years in middle school were awkward, awful, and trying, a peculiar mix of feeling ignored and feeling too noticed, of feeling alone and confused. I like to think of these years now as the basis of who I am. It's a strong part of my character, my story, really. And then there's high school. My first few years, I still fell off balance, but because it was better than middle school and because I had theater and some friends, I was perfectly content. These first 2 years were the ones where my activities were micromanaged by friends who were more meticulous and had stronger personalities than I had at the time. I've always had a supportive family, but sometimes at school I'd feel lonely, insecure. It wasn't until my junior year that I found my group of friends, a support group, another family. They listened to me, took me seriously, and gave me confidence. I don't know what I would do without them, who I would be without them. Doing the musicals with them, talking on the phone until who knows what hour, learning about hockey, joking about food, clothes, sex, and each other. They came to see my shows and still do. I always have a hand to hold if I need it. They've given me time, love, and security in myself. And it just so happens theater has done the same thing. The roles I've been getting at this point in time are some of the best, leads. Who would have thought? Theater teaches me how to feel pride in myself. Theater has taught me to pay to be vulnerable, to cry in front of people, to love, to lose, to experience, to make mistakes, and to be myself. My friends and family have done the same. And then it's senior year, second semester. I have a lead in the show outside of school and a lead in the school show. Great friends, got into college, and just as I'm thinking I've gained my balance, I'm falling again. Everyone is leaving, I'm leaving, and for a while I let that mess with my confidence. I let it mess with the person I found inside myself, and I broke down. The more people I was around, the lonelier I felt. Each and every thread of my spirit, my soul, my heart was unraveling, and I didn't know what to do. I was losing grip on the world around me. This is the scene in my movie when everything was on fast forward but me. I was walking through life slowly, watching everyone get farther and farther from me. I've never been one to deal with problems or even recognize that anything shitty is going on in my life, so I let it roll all over me. I just lived and let go. And I knew somewhere at some time the way it would get too heavy to carry alone. But I had never been in that much of a rut in my life. I had never been that sad for no absolute reason. I had never let life get the best of me. For some reason, something grabbed hold of me and wouldn't let go, and I wouldn't acknowledge it was there, telling myself, it's wrong to have problems, this isn't that big of a deal, think positive, this is wrong, this shouldn't be how you feel. It was how I felt. And trust me, coming to terms with it and crying and dealing and not being silent about it made a world of difference. I needed to handle things, not ignore them. So I began to realize falling isn't such a bad thing. That maybe things are scary as hell, totally new, and definitely uncertain, but I'm okay. For the very first time in my whole life, I'm okay. We always have fun and feel great one day, then crazy bad the next. We've all been strapped into some crazy emotional roller coaster. But for the first time, I'm not fighting the seatbelts. I'm simply along for the ride. I'm ready to discover and explore my life, and I'm ready for the new. I'm scared, terrified, but ready. I've been influenced by friends who have made me more comfortable with myself and a supportive, loving family, but it was me that made me confident. I decided that I could be more forward, I could say what I felt. I can push myself, I can be myself, and I can be comfortable with who I am. I'm stronger now, and I'm the one that got myself to that point. I wasn't alone, I had help, but I decided who I wanted to be, and I'm ready for it. My advice, take the good with the bad. Embrace it all. Give life a big, fat hug, because time is something you never get back. And the falling sensation, best sensation in the whole world. That nasty spill into the unknown is going to be awkward and trying, new and exciting. The falling sensation is where you want to be. It's life. I want to feel the rush in my stomach and the uneasiness of a different room, different place, different people, and different home. I'm ready for that now. I'm ready to suck it up and be myself. I'm ready to say goodbye, and I'm most certainly prepared to fall. To all my friends and family and teachers and mentors and enemies and anyone who made me who I am, thank you, I love you, and goodbye.